No Garrett Gainey, no Chris Veach, no problem. South Carolina, despite not being able to use Gainey or Veach, two of its best relievers, was able to find a way to pick up a 2-1 win over number 13 North Carolina on Tuesday evening here in beautiful Charlotte, North Carolina. And look, it starts with the pitching staff, right? Despite not being able to have those guys come out there and pitch, you get a pretty good pitching performance from guys like Dylan Eskew, Roman Kimball, Parker Marlott, and the big story of tonight, Connor McCreary, who goes out there and pitches 2 1/3, 1 hit, no runs, able to shut down the North Carolina lineup in those final few innings there. And also give a shout out to Roman Kimball, who pitched 2 2/3 innings, had his best stuff that we've seen in quite some time, right? He had been struggling a lot with his command. Mark Kingston said that he was, Kimball had been, seeing a sports psychologist to kind of get his mind right. Had to leave him off a road trip just to see how that could help his mental state. And he said he looked a lot better tonight. His command looked sharp. His confidence was better, and that's what you want to see. And then to trust a guy like McCreary, right? I mean, you didn't have the option to go with Gainey or Veach to bail you out in the end there when you're leading 2-1. And we'll get to the offense here in a second. But the fact that Kingston was able to count on McCreary, who hadn't pitched in a little bit, to go out there and get the final outs of that game and, trust him. No one was warming up in the bullpen in the 9th inning there. The fact that McCreary was able to go out there and shut down North Carolina like he did, that's very impressive and speaks to just how deep this pitching staff really has been this season. Now let's get to the offense. It really wasn't pretty tonight, right? You score 2 runs, you get a run in the early going, and then you blow the 1-0 lead, and then, thanks to Dylan Brewer, you're able to go out there. He hits the big RBI double there in the late going to give South Carolina the lead that would ultimately be the difference in the game. But it's not the prettiest night, right? You strike out 16 times. A few guys had hits. I mean, Ethan Petrie, Parker Noland, Brewer were the only guys to have, multi-hit games tonight. But other than that, it was a little bit of a struggle. And Kingston, after the game, was talking about, Brewer had made a little bit of adjustment, and it paid off, right? And at some point, the offense is going to start clicking in general. And when they do, that's going to be really big moving forward. And speaking of moving forward, this is a big win for South Carolina, right? They've been struggling lately. Got the win over A&M on Sunday, and now you beat a really good North Carolina team. And now you're going to a place that is all too familiar, right? You get to go back to Gainesville, where your season ended last year, right, against Florida in that Super Regional. And the series starts on Friday night, and it's going to be a big one. Florida's kind of slumping right now, and South Carolina's got a real chance to go out there and pounce and pick up a big series win. So Mark Kingston and some players will speak to the media tomorrow to preview the Florida series. I'll be back in town in Columbia at 12:45 for that tomorrow. So be sure to stay tuned to GamecockCentral.com for all those updates. And I'll be in Gainesville this weekend for that big series between South Carolina and Florida, which starts Friday night at 6:30 p.m. For GamecockCentral.com, reporting live in beautiful Charlotte, North Carolina, I'm Jack Veltri.